YOLO holy hobos and hoboettes and hoboettes all now between. I am Rose Patrick Lambert of R.P.L-Productions, the princess of this glorious channel, and the holy chalupa. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry, I've been awake since 5 and I already made another video before this one. So I'm extremely tired and probably dehydrated. I haven't drinking water in 17 years, so that doesn't help. Hence the tea. Anywho, FNAF, or Five Nights at Freddy's. Why am I posing like an anime character? Like, I get hand gestures and shit to make it more exciting, Mom, but what's about? Now, I am a huge fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. I got a poster there and a bunch of plush down on that shelf right there. I have watched pretty much almost every one of Markiplier's gameplay videos, as well as almost every one of MatPat's FNAF theory videos. Suffice it to say that I'm a pretty hardcore fan of FNAF. So obviously I was going to watch this movie, and I did because I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, it's such a fun franchise, such a fun game. And then you have fan creators like Abby SMF or Secret Force Studios with their own takes at the FNAF lore, and it's really ducking good. Like, old memories. That's a good series. You should check it out. So obviously I was going to watch Five Nights at Freddy's the movie, which came out on October 30th, first on Halloween, I believe. And I know this review's a bit late, but to be fair, I've made my Cosmic Fury review. Ship. I made my Cosmic Fury review around the time Cosmic Fury came out, and I still haven't uploaded that yet at the time of recording this. Oh, God, my back. Anyway, so, but yeah, either way, I want to make a review of it because I love the franchise, and I'm so excited to have finally got a movie. So what's my opinion of it? It was great. I loved it. But that's about the thing. This movie was made for the fans, I believe. Like I said, I'm a hardcore fan of FNAF. So obviously, it was probably made a bit more for the fans. I mean, Scott Cawthon worked on this movie, and I loved pointing out the theories. Not the theories, the references and shit. It wasn't really a horror movie per se. It wasn't all that scary. I mean, at least not to me personally, but in fairness, I have essentially become all desensitized to all kinds of gore and shit. So I'm glad this movie focused more on the story and the plot, because that's what's fun about FNAF. FNAF, in my opinion, is 50% gameplay and theorizing. Shit. That's why I think Markiplier should have been in this movie. I get why he wasn't, scheduling conflicts and shit, but I'm just saying, you have the biggest and best FNAF theorist. It would have probably made sense to have the biggest FNAF game player in it as well. Biggest and best FNAF game player as well in the movie. But I get why they didn't include him because, scheduling conflicts and shit, which is understandable. But it was still a good movie. And I love that MatPat had a cameo because he's done a lot for this franchise with his theories and stuff. And while, yes, some may find him controversial, I love his theories. They're ducking awesome. Yeah, they sound outlandish, but then the amount of evidence that supports them, it's like, okay, yeah, you sounded a bit jarring at first, but okay, you've convinced me. What the bell, Mom? I haven't really realized it was him at first. At first I was like, wait, is that him? And then I just lost my shit because of how excited I was. Also, I just noticed this recently, but his name tag at the diner says Ness. Which, if y'all don't know, one of his most disliked and popular theories is where he tried to prove that Sans and Ness from Earthbound are the same person. And as a fan of Undertale, I love that. As a fan of Undertale, I thought that was funny. Kind of funny. And I found this reference also kind of funny. Because, I mean, I just found it amusing. And that's the thing about this movie. It has so many references. I mean, Sparky the dog, which was a popular FNAF rumor back in the day, or the Dream Theory. There was this popular theory back in the day about FNAF 4, if FNAF 4 was released, about everything being a dream, which, yeah, I know, it sounds like a crappy cop-out, but it was very popular. MatPat even made a video on it, and I like that. I kind of like to think that the book Dream Theory in the movie is a reference to that, when in reality, while in reality there have been better theories to explain it, like Mike Afton actually being the kid in FNAF 4. Again, MatPat, I don't really know. For what I can see, there are 3 worlds. FNAF, the books, the movies, and the games. And the movie's kind of like an amalgamation of the two. At first, I was thinking this movie takes place in the present day, like this year, but it takes place in the 90s, I believe, thanks to all the technology and shit. Oh god, I'm literally dying. Like, it looks like it takes place in the 90s, so, like, roughly in the FNAF 1 movie, and it seems like a different take. Like, in the games, Mike Schmidt is a persona taken on by Mike Afton as he, goes for the pizzerias to, save the souls of the children, undo what his father did. Well, it's a theory anyway. Whereas in this movie, it seems that fudge, it feels, son of a, it seems that Mike isn't Mike Afton. They're two different people. Same with, like, Elizabeth and Abby, who, yeah, it sounds similar, but they're not the same. Vanessa's also in the movie for some weird reason, and she's like William's kid. But again, it's an amalgamation. Like, I don't know. There's a lot that doesn't make sense, but at the same time, I liked it. It was a good movie. It's definitely more for the fans, but I think some non-fans can enjoy it. I mean, the story's interesting, the characters. I really like Mike's whole struggle with trying to figure out the mystery of his dead brother. And yes, he's dead. I mean, he got kidnapped by William. There's no way he's alive. But also his dynamic with Elizabeth, which is kind of like an interest. Not Elizabeth. God damn it, Mal. Why don't you say what I want you to? With Abby, like it was a pretty good, interesting dynamic. I thought. It was very. I liked their little dynamic. I also like the ghost children because, like, we actually got to see like the ghost children interact with Mike through dreams and shit, which was pretty fucking interesting. I'm also pretty sure Golden Freddy, like the one in the house and the one that Lord Abby was like not actually there. It was an illusion. The actual suit is still in suit mode and it can't move or anything. I'm also pretty sure that was Cassidy. I mean, it looks different than Cassidy. Like, Cassidy, we theorize, has like black hair and is female, but I'm pretty sure that blonde kid was Cassidy, or like the stand-in for it. Also, the aunt, like the aunt of Mike, is she dead? Because they kind of just left her there. They never really resolved it. I mean, she was kind of like a dipshit, but I mean, what? There's also apparently like William kidnapped Mike's brother. So was that before all the pizzeria ship? Or was it after it? Also, why is William killing? Like, in the games, he kind of went over the edge after Evan or Chris or whatever you want to call the crying child's death. I watch a lot of FNAF gotcha videos a lot back in the day. They're good, so. But, like, I was saying, like, so why is he killing in the games? Is he just delusional? Like, there's a lot of shit that doesn't make sense. Also, where's Charlie? Like, did William put, like, since William put their bodies in the suits, like, in the games, is that how their souls got in there? In the robots? Or was it Charlie? Like, again, lots of shit. Don't make sense. It's obviously kind of like a unique amalgamation take on the lore. Like, from the games and maybe even the books. Like, it's kind of like an amalgamation between all the two. I view it as the books, the movies, and the games are all different universes. They're all different universes. They all have their own stories and shit. At least that's what I like to believe. They have parallels and similarities. Like, that's why we use the books to help theorize, because similarities and shit. Like, Chris and Cassidy both sharing Golden Freddy. It's possible. It's possible, At least that's what I personally believe. And apparently they're having rumors that there's going to be a sequel, so maybe the sequel will explain more on it. Perhaps that, perhaps William was just a regular child kidnapper, but then, went into the pizzeria business and, duck. And, killed children again. Again, I don't really, trucking, no, I don't know. I don't. Bill. But I think it is kind of interesting. Like, he saw that Mike Schmidt was related to the kid he killed, Garrett, who may be the crying child stand-in, and lured him into the pizzeria to try and off him, it seems. And I think, like, Abby's the Elizabeth stand-in. I was thinking it was kind of funny how they made, like, the, the pictures in the movie, like, the drawing into pictures, like, as, like, a big part of the movie, because that was kind of interesting, because, like, in the games and the game, there's, like, a lot of pictures on the wall and shit. I also like how in tune it was with the games. Like, Foxy literally is humming during, like, some chase scenes and shit, and I love that, because, like, it's like the FNAF 1. Like, I really like the little references and shit. I don't get why the eyes are red or yellow instead of black and white, but it's a different universe, So, obviously, things are going to look a bit different. But I really do like the little nods and references. Like, Scott worked on this movie, and that was smart, because he's the creator. You want it to be good, get the original creator. So it was nice to, all the little nods and references. I also like that in the end credits, they had, like, the Living Tombstones FNAF 1 song, because I love their music, and I love their like that FNAF song is such a good song, and it's so iconic that I was, even before that, I was thinking that they had to put it in the movie. Like, they have to, and they did. So that was awesome. All in all, I really found the movie interesting. It wasn't exactly a horror movie, as I said, but it was definitely a good movie. While the reviews of the critic-wise hasn't been great, I don't care. I, as a fan, loved the movie. Alright, I have a different history than the franchise than some critics. Most fans do. Like I said earlier, this movie was more so for the fans. And that's okay. The FNAF movie has been rumored for years. Alright, you cannot just make us wait for years and then make a shippy movie that's good from a critical standpoint. Nah, make a movie by a fan. Make a movie for the fans. Alright? And that's okay. And that's what they did. And it can still be enjoyed by non-fans. Yeah, you won't pick up on everything, but you will enjoy the characters, the story, of Mike Schmidt, trying to get a job to provide for his sister so that she doesn't get taken away by some shippy aunt. It's nice to see that kind of sibling dynamic, It's a nice story overall. Them trying, and then he gets wrapped into, this mystery of dead children and murder and all that shit. It's a very interesting story. So non-fans could potentially enjoy it. Critics just don't have a history with the franchise that most people who watch the movie do. That's why I think it's so ducking bad. When in reality, as a fan, personally, I love this movie. I'm excited for the sequels that supposedly will come out in 2025. Oh my god, I'm gonna be 19 when that movie comes out. Oh, okay, that just hit me like a truck. Okay, that's a... Oh god, I'm gonna be 18 soon. Oh, I'm gonna be like an actual voting adult. Oh god, that's... Oh, ship. Oh, ship. Okay, aside from the realization of that, I'm slowly getting closer and closer to a life of dread and sadness. I joke. I'm not joking, honestly. Okay, back on track. I liked the movie. I found it very entertaining. I found it good. I liked all the nods and references and shit. And I do hope the sequel puts more light on what the hell happened to Garrett, or Mike and Elizabeth return. I also think that I can also see people there was a scene in the movie where this evil babysitter gets chopped in half by Freddy, I think it was. So I can just see people clipping the Markiplier meme. Was that the bite of 87? Over it. When in reality, it wasn't the bite of 87. It was the bite of 83. Although in this movie, I suppose it would be the bite of whatever year this takes place. 2023? 90s? I think it's the 90s, because again, the technology. The FNAF 1 game most likely takes place in the 90s. At least I think it does. So who the bell knows? All in all, this movie seems to be more focused on the first game, with some nods to other games like Vanessa and the Balloon Boy for some reason. So I feel like the second game would maybe be hinting more on the second movie being more focused on the second one. But either way, I can totally, horror movies, which this is probably supposed to somewhat be, even if it's really not. When they spawn franchises. I don't really watch horror movies, but I know there's like Friday the 13th, or that one of the creepy guy of the closet in the dreams. Those have 25, not 5, 5 or 6 movies. So I can definitely see this, spawning it. And this movie has generally been widely received as good by not the critics, but by the people who matter. The fans, the viewers, not those shippy guys in suits that get paid to actually look at this movie and nitpick all the tiny details. It's a video game movie made for people that love this nightmare-induced Chuck E. Cheese world. Okay, Mom? Don't get all harped up on the story or the lore. Not the lore, the story or the little mistakes or ship. Okay, it's dumb fun. Just sit back, let your brain turn off, and have a blast. Well, that's what I did. Literally, I laughed more than I screamed in this movie. Watching this movie. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I also like the casting choice for William Afton. It was Matthew Lillard. There's no way I pronounced that right. I'm sorry. But I like that actor. He's a very good actor. And I mainly know him, like all of you do, as Shaggy Rogers. So it's kind of funny to go from playing this hippie stoner teenager to a literal child murderer. Like, it's a kind of funny, like, how do you go from that to that? And it has spawned a lot of funny memes. Like, I literally saw this one meme where this person was talking like a Shaggy type voice, where they literally told Scooby that I just stuffed 6 kids in the suits. I'm the man behind the slaughter. Like, oh, that was funny. It was kind of funny. It was a very good cast choice. And also, this seems kind of like in the FNAF 3 game, or was it FNAF 4? I don't remember, but it was one of the games that they had like video game 8-bit cutscenes hinting at the past, like with the ghost getting the revenge on William and William dying. That's kind of what this seems to be like. We were all expecting like a really gory scene probably when William got spring locked, but in reality, it was a bit different. It was more so the suit was crushing him. You know, like he got shot or something, and like it caused the suit like it wasn't water that killed him. It was something else that caused the spring locks to jam in. But also, I'm pretty sure Abby is an Elizabeth stand-in because they literally try to spring lock her in this animatronic suit in the back that kind of looks a bit like Circus Baby. So I feel like, oh yeah, no, that's Elizabeth. Like, that's supposed to be the Elizabeth of this universe. Her alternate universe counterpart, if you will. So that's... Oh boy, I also think it's kind of funny that Vanessa in this movie is actually William's daughter, since people or persons or MatPat had theorized that Vanessa's kind of like a stand-in for Elizabeth, like William Afton's wife, kind of, or Clara, or whatever the hell her name is, orchestrated all the security breach ship, and she chose Vanessa's kind of like a stand-in for Elizabeth. So I think it's funny that the movie's actually, you know, turned her into William's daughter. I don't know, I just think it's kind of neat. All in all, I really did enjoy the movie, and as a fan, it is good. You should check it out. Why does my mouth not speak good? Do you like Five Nights at Freddy's? Are you a fan? Do you like good stories, entertaining stories with little nods and references to a franchise you love? Then you'll love this movie. Go check it out. Have a blast. It's on Peacock, I think. Is that where I watched it? Because I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on Peacock, so... Yeah, I think it's on Peacock. But anyway, that's all I have to say for this video. Peace out, holy hobos and hoboettes and all in between. I hope you all have a spectacular day. And peace out, holy hobos. Futuries, kindly cut the feed, please. Peace out, holy hobos. Princess R.P.L. out.